Hey there, friends. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's been pressing on my heart. My grandmother used to say, being poor is an automatic source of embarrassment. And I've always heard that line said. And over my years growing up, I know now what she meant by that. And I'm going to say that this conversation around food stamps, SNAP, WIC, link cards, all that jazz. I'm going to say this about it. It takes but one tragedy, but it takes but one thing to be different in our lives for that to be us, right? And I say that as a person who grew up in the middle class with two parents working in corporate America and being able to go on vacations and being able to go to family reunions and go to holidays and have really good Christmases and all that jazz until my mother got sick and have what we believe to be either a stroke or a heart attack, but a heart incident that led her to be sick. And that kind of wiped all that out. That was my junior year, sophomore year in high school. And my mother has been basically sick ever since. My father, also in the middle class, working full time in corporate America, has been downsized, laid off, found new jobs, all of those things, throughout the course of his career, made more money, made less money, made some career decisions that landed us in places not without things, but it oftentimes led me to be an independent student who had need-based Pell Grants and all that jazz. So I find myself as a college student on food stamps. And I worked through college. I had two jobs: on campus where you could only work 20 hours a week, and then off campus where I could work a little bit more to have a little bit more money to help pay for my courses and just kind of feed myself and make sure I was maintaining and sustaining myself throughout those college years. And like many Black women, I have a lot of student loan debt to prove it. I will also say that when I, got full-time employment, continued to go to school, trying to work my way through school for a lot of years, found myself laid off after finding out that I was pregnant with my daughter at age 27. Guess what? I was on WIC. When my daughter was born, I was on Medicaid, so state-based healthcare to pay for my doctor's visits, my well visits, and things of that nature. I was on bed rest and in crisis the entire time of my pregnancy with my daughter that I love so much. And when she was born, I was on WIC, Women, Infants, and Children. So I had to go to the WIC office, pick up my little stamp booklet, and go get milk and cheese and dried beans and you name it, right? To make sure that I was able to take care of my daughter and nurse her literally and figuratively, and take care of her and take care of myself. I found myself at 28 years old, pregnant, married and pregnant and having a baby with a gentleman who didn't have any financial viability. And so, and that's putting it very kindly and mildly. But I also know that during those years, while being on financial aid or having food stamps or making sure that I had enough food in my house to take care of my family, while only making $29,000 to cover a family of four, because my ex-husband had a bonus baby, and I call that my bonus son. And I raised him as well, because his mother passed away. What I want you to understand is that these programs, these safety net programs, keep people whole or help them to be whole until they can make themselves whole. We are but one tragedy away, one day away, one incident away from that being us again. And so when I say that we've got to figure this out and take away the shame, the blame, and the name calling or the misunderstanding of what that looks like before all of the work that I do today and all of the things that make me an executive and all of those things that I have been able to and been so blessed to be able to do for my child and my family and myself, those systems, those programs were available to me. And I understand and I pray that those systems and those safety nets are available to others so they can be just like me, hopefully finding their way to better. I hope that helps.